Three things I want you to watch out for this year. Three areas I want you to please God in. Number one, conversation. I got to please God in my conversation. Conversation is not just speech. It deals with a person's conduct. You need to watch your conversation this year and make sure that your conversation is pleasing to God. Death and life are in the power of the what? Tongue. See, sometimes our conversation don't please God. Because instead of speaking life, we talking death. I got to make sure that my conversation pleases him. Number two, association. I got to make sure this year that I'm hanging with the right people. You got to take an evaluation or look at your life, and you got to make sure that the right people are in your life. Oh, look at somebody and tell him or her, you don't need everybody in your life. Look at somebody else and tell him or her, everybody is not God ordained to be in your life. Tell your neighbor, you better figure out who needs to be in your life. Wrong association will cause your life not to please God. You can't be a winner hanging with losers. You can't be a saint too connected with sinners. I knew I wasn't going to get it. I got about 4 clapping. See, association means something. If I'm going somewhere in life, I need to get to hanging with people that's going somewhere. Can I say it like your grandmama would say it? If you run with dogs, you can't complain about the fleas. The fleas are a part of running with the dogs. Listen to me, association. I don't need to be around everybody. I don't need to be tight with everybody. Woo-wee. I don't need to be best friends with everybody. See, some of you going to learn this year to let certain folk walk away. Let certain friendships in. Watch this and be all right with that. I said be all right with that. Association, conversation, association, and determination. See, I want to please God when it comes to my determination. I want it to be this year when God look at me that he see a no-quit attitude. I said I want God to see a no-quit attitude. Somebody that's determined to be what he want them to be. Watch this. And somebody determined to have what he want them to have. Tell your neighbor, I'm going to be just like my pastor. Tell him I'm going to please God in my conversation, in my association, and my determination. Woo, that sounded good, didn't it? Look at another person and tell him I'm going to be just like my pastor this year. Tell him I'm going to please God with my conversation, my association, and my determination. By faith, the walls of Jericho fell down after they were encircled for 7 days. Tell your neighbor you remember what happened at Jericho. Tell your neighbor Joshua and them in and of themselves could not defeat Jericho. Tell your neighbor because of that wall. And the enemy was hiding behind the wall thinking they could not be beat. Oh, some of you about to take down some walls that's been standing in your life for years. God gave Joshua a word. Said for 6 days you're going to march around it one time and go back to the camp. You can't say nothing. You can't talk. You just got to be obedient. March one time, 6 days, go back to the camp. Joshua and them, trusting God, knowing they didn't have the army to knock the wall down. They didn't have the equipment to knock it down. They wasn't going to get through it by their own power. See, I'm preaching good right now because the victory that some of you about to get, it is not going to be by your own power. And so they went one day, circled the wall, went back to the camp, got up the second day, circled the wall, and went back to the camp. Tell your neighbor, seems silly to me, but tell your neighbor sometime God will tell you to do some crazy stuff 4, 5, and 6 times doing the same thing. Got up the 7th day, but Joshua said, this is a new day. Don't do what you did yesterday. Something about to change for somebody, because you're about to do something different than how you did it yesterday. He said, this time, on the 7th time, go around it 7 times, and at the end of 7, open up your mouth. Y'all can talk then. I want you to shout as loud as you can shout. Tell your neighbor, they went around it 7 times. Shout it. Tell your neighbor, you know what happened next. Tell your neighbor, that wall came down. Tell your neighbor, it came down because it was a season for victory. Tell your neighbor, welcome to your season of victory. Look at somebody and tell them, welcome to your season of victory. Can y'all handle victory? Can y'all handle victory? We about to go into a season of victory. A season of what? A season of what? A season of what? I need some excited folk. You got about 59 seconds. You about to enter this season. You about to defeat some stuff. You gonna get the victory over the devil. Victory over demons. Victory over haters. Yeah. 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 High five somebody to say, this is what I've been waiting on. Run to somebody and say, this is what I've been waiting on. Pastor saying it's my season for the victory. Can y'all count it down? Count that thing down. You about to go in a season of victory. A season of victory.